Fantasy Evaluation System or Fantasy Evaluation. Author Sorios. Chapter 1 Sold to Mercenaries. I'm just an orphan in God knows where orphanage. I was sold to some mercenary group. I was fortunate they did not sell me to organ trafficking groups at the very least. Don't get me wrong, this is the thing that happens in the most of the places of the world. How could those politicians and corrupt officers let some orphanage run, granting it free funds? After selling, they will either note down the orphan is dead or the orphan is adopted by some foreigners. This kind of cases would never show up in the media or any other news because they are also in the crime and also taking some share bribes to cover things. This is human nature. As long as the thing don't happen to me, I don't care. Well, there are some expectation where those are good humans they really wanted to help the needy and the poor. But the thing is, what these good people will do most of the time would end up making the situation worse. Well, the good people will still think they did the right thing and just sit by the side peacefully to see the real needy up dead or worse. Even though I'm an orphan, in this orphanage I know the true nature of the people more than anyone else, and I'm not a fool to believe their sweet word like others. The mercenary group bought in some orphan from the orphanage. They look scary to the most children but not to the most orphan. They just bought. Hey kid, what's your name? One of the mercenaries asked in English. My name is Vikram. Vikram is one of the orphan from the orphanage, and this mercenary bought. Hey, this orphan can actually speak English. It seems we have bought an orphan with some knowledge this time. Vikram did not have much of an expression on his face. All he did was answer the question and wait. That's all. He was able to hear some whisper from some distance, and those mercenaries spoke. Why should we know if some knowledge or something was in this orphanage to get us that box and nothing more? What if he survives? Well, we'll think about it later. For now, let us move. We don't have much time to get things. When the other party arrives, we will lose all the money. Vikram was not the only one that was bought here. The other orphan and the same age as him. They were intimidated and shipped into the ship cargo holds. The ship started to move to somewhere they don't know. The journey was not long. Sometime they start to move. Those mercenary gave people some cheap quality buns. It is not that they gave, but more like they throw the food into the cargo holds like feeding a dog or something. Vikram moved very swiftly right when the buns were still in the air. He did not take all of them, but only took one and let go of the bread. He retreated to the corner and started to eat bun quickly before the fight began for buns. By the time other realized the thing, Vikram is the one that ate the complete bun while other ate scabs and pieces, where some of them was stopped on during the fight. Since Vikram has started to eat the bun, they can do nothing but to watch him with a sigh. Well, not all of them were patient and forgiving type. There are always some tempered guy they want to fight and make a point. Orphan quarrels would always happen in the orphanage, so it's not new to Vikram. He simply did not fight back, but used his movement to receive a less damage, and every time he was hit, the increased amount of stamina the other party used to fight. The wound on his body might look severe, but most of them are scabs and nothing more. He sat on the corner silently all the time till they were all let out. After coming out, they were told to get a truck. They were told to get on a truck and transported to the desolated place that looked more like a desert. Well, the entire way is all the particular place, but more barren. There is some burnt smell in the air where the walls area are particularly broken down. The mercenaries stopped near the fencing of what looked like an abandoned place. The building were a little further from the fencing. The entire place looked like a ghost place. Hey, look at that image of a briefcase. This is hidden in the building. What you have to do is to go and get it. The one who that will get it will be sent back to your home. If you don't, then I will shoot you. The merchant looked fierce while saying, pointing the gun at the people. Wickham moved first toward the ruined building, but he did not directly to cross over through the fence. Instead, he moved to the corner and collected some stones and threw them on the lead the way. From the fence being the fence, the fence, the ruined building, anyone can see there is being cautious and checking for landmines. There is a TV on the orphanage, and people have been watching many movies, so they understand what Vikram is trying. It was the fat orphan that fought with Vikram, took the initiative to follow the path of the rock, believing there were no landmines on there. Other people followed quickly, paced behind the fatty. The fatty had a proud expression that protagonists put on their face. Vikram put a reluctant expression on his face, looked like he is defeated. On the contrary, the mercenaries were laughing with ridiculous expressions. Chapter 2. At least a meat shield. On the contrary, the mercenary was laughing with ridiculous expression. One of the mercenaries wanted to say something but was stopped by another mercenary who was looking at the face of Vikram with astonishment. The mercenary wanted to say, the landmine cannot be triggered using a bunch of stones. If they triggered so easily, then why would they put all the orphanage to buy these people? Vikram, that previously put a defensive expression, the side changed. His lip gently curved upward. His eyes were looking at the other people. They were dead men. Right after the loud sound came boom. The first person that making his way under the rocks of Vikram was successfully stepped on the landmine when he crossed the three-quarters of the distance. The one behind the fatty fell on the side, causing a more explosion, reducing their number. The remaining one did not have a choice but to move forward because the threat of the gun behind them. Vikram, on the other hand, still standing at the last. The mercy did not say anything but coldly pointing at the guns of the people. Wickham did not stop as he threw more rocks in front of the complete covering distance to the ruined building. The people are always hopeful and thought that Fatty was wrong and stepped onto his step was blasted. So there was nothing wrong with the rocks that Vikram threw. They should be in the safe spot. This hope led to a few more casualties and the final reclant that only Vikram with his whole body interact under the ruined building. The other either dead or lost their limbs. Vikram did not have sadness or happiness in his eyes. He silently went to the ruined building and brought back the briefcase. He traced down his own foot, coming back to the merchant, and said while handing over the briefcase, I know that you will not leave anyone alive, even getting the briefcase back. I put on my capabilities to display my uses. I hope you can take me in at least as a meat shield. He did not say much, but he wanted to say was perfectly conveyed. The mercenary that stopped in the other mercenary from speaking before the leader of the group. He was actually attracted by the cleverness of Vikram. Not that the Vikram had spoken this word, but put a tough front, acted if they were arrogantly accepted Vikram into their group. From that day, Vikram was always walking on the edge between life and death. He never showed anxiety or fear in the face of death. He always enjoys the smallest thing like he has won the world. There is one time he always given a chocolate to eat. The expression of Vikram's face was like that man just has an orgasm. Well, it's not the only that even the tasteless food they ate every day, the small amount of sleep or rest, everything he got was treasured like gold. At some time, the mercenaries started to teach him various things related to combat, weapons, software, goods, and secret routes. Though in a way, they did not teach him directly, but He made them teach these things to him using the most common method of asking to learn from, helping them in their work. Humans have seven sin, but seven are not sin but loopholes. As long as they are controlled properly, it is not longer it is no longer a sin but a part of life in every human. Only if these things are exclusive to cause damage, they will become sins. If not, it's not a sin. Vikram used the two of these sins. Every human has a weapons to get their knowledge. They are pride and sloth. They are prideful to show off their knowledge and lazy enough to leave the task to the hands of the servant, which Vikram had the scene. Since he is with them, they thought that he should learn something. While teaching, they would show off their skill in pride, hoping some good word from Vikram. They would teach him in the name of their pride. They never thought that Vikram is a person that come in a billion or come one in a billion that possess two great qualities: insight and obsessive will. He has obsessive will when he does something or learns something. When he sees something performing a thing he did not know how to do, he will immediately observe them with the highest concentration. He would not just leave it at that, but use his common knowledge to analyze it, then finally try to acquire the knowledge for himself. His will to do something that deemed necessary in a good as an obsession of a madman. For example, when he faced off the mercenary taught him some hacking skill and boosted his own hacking skill. Vikram became obsessed. He understood that how much important those hacking skills are in the present day world, so he learned them. They were not learned like there was no tomorrow, but he cannot show his progress in front of those mercenaries in order to attract their attention. He did not have the room for errors at all. He used all the time to get practice in the secret till he mastered all computer language, to the point where he wrote some software that were hidden in the eyes of tick that hidden in the eyes of a tick that guy taught him. He is not the only that did the usage of firearm, close combat, secret route for traveling, getting original ID proof, mercenary gathering area, underground rule, their art of disguise. He will learn all of them while he stayed with those mercenary. When he finally got all those skills, Vikram decided to execute a final plan that he made for them. Death of the Mercenary Gang. Chapter 3. When he finally got all their skills, Vikram decided to execute the final plan that he made for them. In the mercenary group, his duty is to work as a chore boy that should do all the odd job, cleaning and to cooking. On fine day, when all the mercenaries in the group have decided to have lunch together. Vikram is naturally the cook. They have ordered many dishes. Vikram did not say many bad comments, but simply go to the work as he usually does. But today he prepares something extra. It's not poison, but a special muscle relaxing that can make elephant lose their strength. But it was made in a way to effect with a slight delay. He did not mix it with food while he was cooking. Instead, he gently mixed it with a small amount of oil, glued that he decided to add before serving the dish. He has specifically stirred the oil and geese cup so they would not accidentally make him eat his food. Everyone has a happy mood after completing a big mission. They got enough money to retire with the new identities and live in a small rich man in USA. So in the way they are celebrating, Vikram executed his entire thing flawlessly. Almost everyone ate their food without exception. At the same time, completed their first dish. The thing is, they wanted Vikram to eat with them for a meal, so he bought his own plate and sat down with them. By the time they were done with the first dish, Vikram made an excuse to leave the room and locked it. He went straight to the room of the tech technician guy and looked at the serene skin of the dining room, using the hidden camera that he placed in the room. Right after Vikram left, they started to feel numb in their legs and hand. Before they found there was a there is a problem, they were already limp on the chair. The person with the most resistance is actually not the leader of the mercenary, but the bombing expert. He was able to get up from his seat and walk a few steps to the door and tried to open it. Since the door is locked, the muscle relaxed as acting quickly all the movement become dull non-existent. Vikram did not take any chances but waited 10 minutes and observed the entire incident few times to make sure they were not misshape. Only did he return the dining room in front of the astonished eyes of those mercenaries they were unable to move. Vikram took out a gun and placed it in front of each of their heads, threatening them one by one. I will give you a single chance. If you answer my question properly, I will kill you quickly. But if you don't answer the question properly, I will give you a word of pain, which will make you wish for death and beg for death. Vikram did not give them much time, as he only asked them about the detail related to their secret slash of money and some goods and some knowledge, some details of client. There are some that did not want to did not wanted to answer, and Vikram directly. So Vikram hit them on the some part that would make them feel so much pain they cannot lose consciousness from pain. After when Vikram got all the answers, they started to beg for mercy, but instead Vikram spoke. I have some bottom line that should never be crossed. First of all, I don't like humans trafficking. Second, I don't like to force onto a woman that did not want it to be forced. Third, Vikram listed out something there the mercenary did that crossed the bottom line. After saying things, he put a plaster on their mouth and loaded them in a truck. He took them to the uninhabited place where they were prepared for them. He even some people screamed. No one came to save them. He placed some firewood in the pits, poured gasoline. He dumped them in a pit and took out the dried firewood and dropped it on them. After he poured some gasoline, then he lighted up, making a big fire that burned them alive slowly, painfully. Vikram is not sadist person, but there is no law in the world that would give the appropriate punishment for this kind of people. There are actually human right organization that would help this kind of bastard for money instead. So the authority the atrocious the people did find is right form of punishment. Vikram did not judge any of them from justice, hero, but he also has power to prevent the one that wanted to punish them punished without the care of the government law. He stood there, all them were burned to ashes. The entire thing is cooled down. After that, he made his way into the pits and sprayed some water to cool it down. Then he patiently collected the entire ash of both fire wood of the mercenary and placed them in the prepared bag. He took them straight to the drainage system of the city and dumped it in the drainage water. Even the ashes of this bastard are not mixing with the sea or river are ground for resting. Drainage water is the perfect place for these people to rest. With this done, he went back to their hideout, started to arrange something. Now he wanted to travel the world and clarify some of his deep doubts. There are things that he was interested in, like software, combat, and other things that he put his heart into it. Search of Secrets, Chapter 4. There are things that he was interested just in software, combat, and other things he put in heart into. His body is not fully developed, so his brain. He wanted to know more to perfect things that he has learned already. There are things related to cooking that he wanted to learn. There are something that he related to disguise and he wanted to learn from the professionals. He made a complete travel to plan a visit after searching of many things through darknet, an underground information network. With the money he has the hand right now, he can visit the information of any half of the place. But he was not bothered because there are always ways to earn more than there are many greedy people in the world. He started to learn something, starting with the disguise skill. At the same time, he started to get different native identities in the various countries with a large amount of investment. Then he moved to the learn various cushing along with poisoning and specialization. He did not stop at the start and learn to various fighting styles because his natural insight. He was able to grasp the main point very quickly, as hard work was largely supported by his strong will. Everything was done systematically to point of perfection. The reason he wanted to learn all of this was the search for something that can make him feel content with it. This world seems too boring to him, and the thing that actually interests him is the thing like magic, future science, and some other things that were said in movies and stories. There is a restriction on a human mind of imagination. This is unless a person experiences something through five senses that the person is able to imagine something new he has never experienced before. For example, you can imagine a new color that is not even the seven color on their combination. You can think of a new taste that is not a basic taste or their combination. Similarly, a person tells a ghost story, then you should have heard the description of the same ghost somewhere. If this was followed to the route where there is a possibility to find a real ghost or at least some original description of a ghost came to be. So there are hundreds of thousands of stories and their strong belief related to magic and power. He did not believe all this thing came out in just air of the stupid scientists said. Well, this is not the only thing that he wanted to get there, but there are things like the normal man wanted to have. In order to get all those things, he wanted the lifespan of a human. The thing he wanted for the thing he wanted. The lifespan of a human is not enough. If he wanted to have great harm of a woman truly loved him, he needs to have enough life and to enjoy enough stamina to satisfy them, enough power to safeguard them, enjoy financial power to treat them greatly. So, in order to get all of this thing, he had to find a source of all the stories, the truth. His strong will was fueled by the desire. The strong in, instinctive insight was supported by strong will. His will is like an obsession, not just a will of a lazy student or the current scientist that would do work for 10 minutes a day, try to complete the main work with a number rate using the brain. With his search for knowledge, he moved to Europe. But he found the most things. Sorry. With his search of the knowledge, he moved to Europe and went through the details related to alchemist. But he found that the most of the things were not sold or made by stolen things from the real alchemists of other countries in the name of friendship. They drift this attention toward the civilization details and search in the countries like China, Japan, Korea, and the Tibet. What he found that all these countries have half knowledge where the basic were severely damaged. For example, acupuncture, medicine, and Chinese kung fu were taught and spread through the countries of the East by Buddhas and also known as Daum. The people of this country were shameless through just to claim all that was their discovery, to change the original name of the technique and their country name. Vikram also traced the detail related to all Buddha and found out so-called Buddhism was modified version of sannyas. This means leaving all the things they are worth to make a human trying to find the high truth. Well, the result Vikram found it was dead and to take they dead end to take sannyas unless that person completely lost interest in everything a human can desire. That's not Vikram wanted. Instead, he wanted his desire to be fulfilled. Tracing things back to the root, Vikram was pointed to his mother country, which is India. By the way, I did not write the story. I'm gonna give the link in the description somewhere. He did not have much faith or sentiment toward the current state of India, but some inquiry, he found that it's not that things that he felt they are secret in his country. Those other countries unable to steal or exploit. The secret were well hidden. They were placed in they were placed in a plain sight where other will simply ignore as it is waste. But the thing is the secret to open to everyone. The ancient Indians are really intelligent to make this way of holding. Without knowing you are holding a diamond is nothing more than holding a shining rock. The thing is a thing that this is for free is accessible to the for all looking down upon. That that's right, everything was put out open but the key is gone. So if you have the entire thing in front of you, it will not work without a key to understanding that. Chapter 5, Interesting Facts. If Even so, if you have the entire thing in front of you, it will not work without the key to understand that. Vikram did not give up. They made his way to India. There, he found an interesting fact. Most of the time, Indians are proclaimed as Aryans, but it's a half lie. Indians said to follow Aryan culture, but it's not all of them are Aryans. When observed closely, Vikram found out they are not even following Aryan culture, but a piece of Aryan culture was integrated into their own instead. He found another strange thing, which is also called Veds. Veds in India is not religious texts or praises to all gods like the stupid scientists said. Instead, they were the core research document. They were related to the law of the world. Some rare intellect Chinese people have referred things as base from they call Tao or path. But the problem that the current available weights are the only most basic introductory part, nothing more than that. It is as the most of the important data was destroyed or hidden by someone. With his extensive research on the things he did not know where to find, but he was at the age of love, so he decided to join the university where his research can go on and find a person that he can fall in love. Well, it might seem misleading to go to university to get a girl to love you, but you should know when a student is writing an exam, they can see which student is cheating with a glimpse, but the examiner needs time to find the cheating student. Simply, if he did not join college university, how will he find if he fell in love with someone? Maybe like those movies, he might meet a girl and fall in love. Or there might be a young teacher that would make him fall in love, or may some other way. Well, he has to do research too. He made some original certificate as an orphan that he previously should have officially joined the university, but before he went to the university, he did not forget to send the people that were previously sold him to the mercenary to hell. He is not a kind of person to believe his current good situation is all because of them selling him to this mercenary. He has joined the university and everything is smooth. He did not flaunt his money in the university as he has a habit of wearing a cheap cloth usually. The reason for this most of this cloth usually becomes spoiled because of his carelessness of doing his things. So instead of replacing the costly clothes, he would buy cheap clothes. Instead of buying those costly clothes, he would usually give this money to some other children that show the promise that have strong will to survive. He would not donate his money to those trusts that would help people in only name. He is 22 this year. Based on the orphanage record, his baby face did not change over the years, so he looked much younger, like an 18-year-old. After joining the university, he did not meet a woman that looked pure and fun to talk to. For a few months, he thought that everything was good, and this woman was one for him, but before making a decision, he always checked before his strong, cautious nature. Unexpectedly, this woman actually maintaining 4 track of love. Excluding Vikram, he became angry but immediately removed the thought of anger. This woman was not pure or loyal to him. Since she is like this, he doesn't have to be responsible for her. If she is loyal to him, then he would treat her as a queen. If is it then is it it's not. He would like to treat her as he wanted to farm it. It's not like he would be loyal to her as he wanted to farm a harm. Some people might say that he is hypocrite, but this is now he is. He did not have anyone to share his joy and sadness. Naturally, if he has parents, he would have shared them with them. He doesn't have any, so he's an orphan. He wanted to have a good number of women that are loyal to him and fully trust him, so he can only share his joy and sadness with them. When there are so many protagonists in the stories, they have many women. Why can't he have a harem of a woman that loved him with their heart? But he never thinks badly of a woman that was maintaining many relationship with others than him. It's her personal matter. Since she is not loyal to him, then he did not have to be responsible for her. With this thought, he became free from what worried in his mind, and the anger is gone. In the next few days, he was more intimate with her as they fucked many times with the no worries in his heart. Well, she was willing, as she was very much stressed out over something, sexual frustration, because of her other boyfriends were. At the same time, he found she had already given her first time to someone else, and only treating him as a spare tire. In a thought, he is just a good man that helped her relieve some stress and helped her studies. She never truly loved him or loved him instead. She wanted to fish for a rich second generation young master that holds their golden thighs. Since it's like that, he decided to use her too. The funny thing is, funny thing, she thought Vikram is a low level person. When she found out he was an orphan, she asked many questions about the money. Vikram never told anyone, but his origin is simply he told her he was done some part time job and gained some financial support. Vikram never told anyone. That's a boy. Oh, blah, 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 blah. Her facial expression changed. Sorry. The nature of Vikram. Her facial expression changed that day to cause him to doubt her. This doubt revealed her real character. Vikram was not a person who was inset on purity of a woman. Instead, he wanted to her to be loyal to him. This is all he wanted from his woman. There are some adult video actresses that I respect more than some other businessman and politician because they were true to their nature and proud of their work. If he loved a P star and she was decided to become his woman with loyalty from then on, he will treat her as his queen without even taking a single bad thought about her. But when he trusted that woman lost his trust being disloyal to them, he will simply throw her without looking back at her. This is his character. Thinking of research all the time is hard for him too. He needs some feminine fresh air to cool down some time to time. So he did not want to act reserved with her anymore. He did not share his funds with her. So the time for is and the time for the end of the college year has come. He finally found a clue where he is looking for, but he don't know how true the matter is. The original principle god of the Indian is called the principal god of the Indian is called Vidhi or known as karma. The thing is the god is not worshipped only India, but the entire world in form of a shadow. All the religions have their various names and God is the most believed existence of the world. This god has many names like fate, destiny, luck, vidhi, karma. Even though everyone knows the god existence, they never recognize the god subconsciously. They will not pray to this god, but every time they feel sad or happy, they remember this god first. Another important thing, Vikram found this belief that God is a female. I'm very sorry, this is a bit offending. I'm reading this story. It's just I know it's a fucking story, but still. Okay, here goes nothing. This is all because the religions of mythology, God is represented as a female. They call Lady Luck Lady Fate, but they did not answer his question in many places. He was able to completely asbot the data related to the herbs in the medicinal herbology and the ancient sage of Indian. Well, it's only a bit of knowledge, and most of the herbs mentioned are long extinct. There is a small detail on some high level herbs, but there are only names and no description. At least medical herbology is more complete than the one found in China. But the funny thing is, latest last Chinese are using publicizing it, while Indian this was stored in co-web of museum where they don't even bother to report the cops after they stole the Talapa, Talapatra. His fighting style also changed more perfectly after getting the fighting technique of ancient god called Yuhduvia. Yahduvia Vadia. It mentioned in the complete fighting model for I'm sorry I don't know how to pronounce it, but Yuddha Yudh Vidhi Yuddhu Vidhi I guess. It mentioned in the complete fighting model for the fights as a single individual to the controlling of army for war. As for weapon division, most of them are cold weapon and magical weapon, but they did not specifically point any weapon mastery. Instead, it point those type of intent which are weapon interior warrior intent. This is an old saying in India, or you can say ancient human. In the hands of a true warrior, even a blade of grass can become deadly weapon that can kill. The two inheritor understood, to the intender understood for the statement. A warrior is supposedly high level fighting intent where he or she can use anything as a deadly weapon. There are another thing saying which he use an electric lord in an ancient time. No one can not everyone can become warrior, but a warrior can be anyone. Like this, there are saying that pointed out toward the secret, which final puzzle appeared in Vikram's mind. He wanted to solve, then they reach the final truth. But if an invisible wall is blocking him reaching the truth, thinking of this, he came down to the small apartment and wanted to go to the beach and get some fresh air. At the moment, he got a message from his cheap touch phone that used to maintain contact with people here. There is another costly phone which cell made high performance and non traceable function. But this is not the thing like managing investment around the world. The message he got from was name Mindira. She wanted to meet him and wanted him to come and talk to her. Vikram knows what she's going to say. Break up as he already monitoring her. She was able to find a rich second generation young master and limited her contract with other people so she can become intimate with him. This young master is called Rakesh. Vikram knew him as Rakesh always wanted to win against Vikram in the studies and support sports, but he never won of them. Vikram, always extremely intellect, has his physical capabilities is equal to that of a high-level experienced commando. Since his pride was hurt, he targeted Vikram's so-called girlfriend, Mindara. Now, Rakesh wanted to flaunt stealing Vikram's girlfriend, Mindara, so they came and called Vikram down. Vikram originally wanted to do anything with Mindara as he doesn't feel anything for her, but now she wanted to use him to get on a good books of a stupid rich kid. Naturally, he did not consider Rakesh as his enemy, not even a street thug. This is because Vikram can easily kill Rakesh without making a scene or torture him to the point he wishes death. This He is like a little chicken in front of Vikram's eyes. Since they wanted to play, he will simply come to them and watch their drama. When Vikram arrived in the rundown apartment, Mindra waiting under a street light. He already It's already evening and the graduation ceremony was over today. Well, Vikram done with his university and decided to move somewhere else. He walked toward Mindira as without an expression. Mindira showed a little complicated look as she was thinking of something, but really become resilient. Vikram, let's break up. I'm sorry I have to say, but it's not you. It's not, but you don't have money and you're a poor orphan. You have rejected job offer in a selection, so I found my own path of life. At the time, costly car slowly drove by the side of a street, and Rakesh came out of the car. He moved close to Minda and gave her a lip kiss and looked toward Vikram with pride in his eyes. Then he handed a box to Vikram and said, "Last night I have all 36 positions in her. Nothing inside box is the entire video of the last night play. Make sure to watch it." He's expecting the shook, anger, sadness, but unexpectedly there was a hint of mockery. Rakesh was even prepared for Vikram relations as he brought four strong retired armed force with him. Vikram took a step forward as bodyguard moved to inspect Vikram, but to remove a simple movement broke the joint of the foreguard within a second. His fighting style looked more like a dance than fight. But the final result, even a cheap quality shirt did not have a single fold of stain, but the foreguard have already lost their consciousness. They were not even given a chance to scheme those seconds right. Hit their nutty point, making them limp. Finally hit the nerve system, making them lose consciousness. Then he moved toward Rakesh and Mandira, looking dumb duck as they saw a dead dinosaur. From the start, I don't have many expectations from you. Did I ever tell you that I loved you? So the breakup is unnecessary. Since I have fucked you many times, I would give you a valuable advice before we part ways. Even if we held no tie of rich second generation young master, you should think about yourself far before taking sides. How long do you think you will look beautiful in the eyes of a rich second generation young master like Rakesh? Since you chose the path, then take this video. He might be useful for you to become a porn star in industries. At least live there in the diligently for yourself. Minda was stunned even more as her mind was unable to take the more data. And then we come to Rakesh and already pissed his pants causing urine smell in the air. Don't try to compete with me because we are not at the same level. Also, don't take so many simulation pill because you will become important. You're the only son of your father, right? I like your gift and gave it to the right. I liked your gift and gave it to the right person. Oh, by the way, if you want to fight me, then at least bring few snipers along with at least 100 veteran fighters. If you want to take the help of your father, then tell him the name before telling him anything. My name's not Vikram, but the hidden demon. Also, take them along with you before you leave. After saying this, Vikram returned back to his apartment, packed his things. Previously, he wanted to go to the beach for refreshment, but since the thing turned out like this, he had to pick up his things before some unexpected things happened. While picking, he heard some car leaving in a hurry from below. A small smile came on his mouth as he picked the important things in the room. Well, all the thing combined from small form a mountain climbing bag and nothing more. During the time in his day, Vikram was really attentive as he did not leave a single mark like fingerprint photo or even his voice recording was left. As for the degree, he didn't care. It's not his goal coming here. It has it has become his habit to carry these things. This bag After picking up his, he called a taxi and went to the beach along with his big bag. The bag contained daily necessities, medicine, recharge data, compressed food, and water. It has become his habit to carry these things when he goes. There are also disassembled multi-purpose gun, which is his invention during the study of guns. Even the bullet were disassembled form. Right at the moment Rakesh reaches home, instead of talking to men in the hospital. The funny thing is, the man actually woke up as they drive toward Rakesh home. But the limbs were facing in the wrong direction, but they did not feel any pain or problem in their body part. Rakesh rushed to the room. Rakesh, what am my father? Do you know someone called the hidden demon? Rakesh hurriedly cutting his father question. When the hidden demon is mentioned, Rakesh's father expression changed a little. The Chapter 8: The Hidden King. When the name Hidden Demon is mentioned, Rakesh's father expression has changed a little, but soon after that he blinked his eyes, thought someone. He made his face sweat, as he felt someone would not come here. Still, he wanted to make sure the stupid son did not invite the demon here. His first claimed that the son was a glass of cold water from the servant and asked him to explain. Mindra was with him and equally anxious. At the first thought of nothing as the narration of his son going to steal a poor person's girlfriend for himself. Mindra felt contempt toward Rakesh as was listening to his word. When Rakesh came to part as he beaten, Rakesh showed the man to his father. His father frowned and suddenly felt a mysterious feeling inside his mind. As his continued sweat beads started to form as his forehead went chill. By the time his son ended his word, "You stupid son of mine. How can you actually provoke that demon? Tell me why. What if you lose some people in the studies and sports? Did he ever say any bad word to you or provoke you? Do you know what you have done? Do you know who you provoke? You idiot, tell me where this person is. I hope it's not too late. Fuck you. You, you, you even dared to sleep with his girlfriend to make the video out to present to the demon. How can you be so stupid?" Rakesh's father immediately put Rakesh in the car and told the driver to the address of his son's book. He was in a much hurry that he did not even care about his men and other thing they were talking at home. Minder felt strange feeling inside. She suddenly lost something she cannot be taken back, something so valuable it would be took her good karma from few hundred lives to get, but she simply dumped it like a waste. She went to follow Rakesh to get to the car as the speedway way to location of Vikram. On the way, under the question of Rakesh, his father spoke with irritation. The hidden demon is said to be some high-level person whose face he ever appeared before. He said his mercenary that killed another mercenary in the underworld people because they crossed his bottom line. Most of the money he earned is not for the mercenary job, but instead of killing mercenary, taking their secret slash. He has invested miraculously in high-level companies at the current of top 500 as a hidden top companies. He usually walked into the country, including US, without anyone daring to stop him. Well, no one can recognize him even they wanted to. He is also a highly valued scientist that has contributed to the recent scientific development around the world. He just gave a command he could make a country go war, and even without a alliance, he can manipulate them from the shadows and cause civil war. There one time, some rich man of US became frustrated because he was unable to buy the demon research, tried to attack the company, but the demon invested. Do you know what the results were? Right after the attack of series, news of started to cultivate the nest and net that process all the company's secret of the rich man along with all his illegal dealings, secret affair with perfect proof. You should know the recent financial crisis over the world, right? This is after the effect that demon religion retaliation. When the news of the secret came, not only the rich man but the people behind him support him through the wall as he was pulled out. There was another secret retaliation. Well, this retaliation was because the rich man tried to attack the company he invested. Instead, the rich man also tried to kidnap and shoot an adult video of the company manager's wife and daughter. The thing is, they only tried and were unsuccessful because the demon appeared out of nowhere and saved them. Only after the rich man was touched his bottom line that the demon retaliated. It said that as long as you did not do something to touch his bottom line, the demon will not do anything to you. Fortunately, the demon would should have already realized this. The woman is not loyal to him, so simply let you go. If this woman was really loyal to him with the behavior, the result would have been very simple. He would have died, the entire family, including the roots of our business, politics, and everything would be erased from the history of our country. Fortunately, this woman is not loyal to him. Oh, I forgot to mention, even he called the hidden demon, there is a thing named for him in many countries, the hidden king. He supported itself as bidding the person even illegal business some sorts. Only the nature of this person is so frightening that they called was a hidden demon by the people of the underworld. You should have already expected some extent. They already researched about your background is me. They should not have they be they should why he called himself a hidden demon instead of a hidden king for me to recognize quickly. The more he calmed down, the more Rakesh's father thought how lucky he was. The other hand, Mandira thought of dying. She had to kick away a person whose power comparable to a country. Chapter 9. Do you want to know the secret of the world? A true king, as she can never get this with her so long, she never knew it. Pat, pat. Mother slapped her cheek. Mindra slapped her cheek, making a handprint on her cheek. She started to cry. Rakesh father looked at her with pity, the loss of a chance to contempt with her stupidity at the time. When his father stopped speaking, Rakesh couldn't help but ask, "Father, why are you calling Vikram by the titles of a demon or a king?" Is Vikram his true name? His father looked at him as they said, "No one knows his true name, which is nation he belongs to." Well, the people saw him usually point at the different nationality because his disguise technique. These things about doing the stay with you people. You have a single photo of him. Vikram thought as he searched through the group friends, even university staff record he found some reason their certificate was gone. Both soft and hard copies were gone completely. When he said this out loud, Exorcism Father became more hardened because previously he thought the demon was just a guess, but now confirmed he simply doesn't want to be the victim of the demon retaliation because his son's stupidity. Finally arriving at the apartment. When they came, found Vikram with the apartment, staying paying rent completely to the owner. When they tried, Rakesh's father wanted to take a look at the apartment, found everything is looked neat and clean. F up. Hmm. It, it is as no one stayed here. The person that stayed here did not leave a single trace of himself. Rakesh's father sent his men to research all the means of transport going out. Vikram just arrived at the beach area with a big bag. He started to walk on the beach as he was not carrying the bag behind him. He was peacefully sat at the corner of the bench where the number of people nearby is very sparse. He was thinking of his findings as he already forgot the incident related to Mendra and Rikash, just like they were just passing away now. That I came to some conclusion all these things to be dead. It's like some invisible wall is blocking me. What is the key of solving this secret? When he thought of this world receive a message. Do you want to know the secret of the world? Yes or no? Was the self-made highly secure phone. Currently, it is not connected to any internet or any no way to send message to it. Then, how did the message appear in a switch off phone? He suddenly had a premonition that this is the key of solving the current predicament. He did not click yes. He did not click yes as he checked the phone for a second and decided to switch on the phone. As the phone did not respond, he sighed for a moment, knowing he was going to open the Pandora's box. But there is a hidden excitement. As he finally clicked yes option, immediately his surrounding frozen as someone clicked the bottom. Then the sounding blank out, making him fall into semi-conscious state. He doesn't know how long it has passed, but he felt like he traveled a very high speed as a suitable state. When he woke when he woke up, he was in a huge hall, was as close all steady all sides. Other him and other people by the count, there were hundreds of them. He is the first one to wake up, started to look around the curiosity. His shear is not kidnapped. His bags are with him and all phones still in his hands. There is not even a single change in appearance when he was on the beach. This shows he was not kidnapped by anybody or touch his body move. So he transported here by other means. He did not show any expressions, but first decided to change it to act as a normal civil as they look confused. He observed the nationality of the people. They were from all over the world. They were not specifically patterned. He looked at the soil walls, enclosing room. He found the walls are strong to made of some unknown material. The people started to wake up one by one. Ruckus started to some people. The big mouth threw their weights around. Vikram simply ignored them as they found a specific spot which like elevated platform. Hey, how dare you kidnap me? Do you know who am I? Release me, sir. Whoever that kidnapped me. If you want money, I can give you as much. Please release me. It's in a reality show or illegal battle royal fighting has recently become famous in the novels. Please release me. I my husband will become I my husband will become doubtful again. A black gentleman called Hakim. The roof of the inclusion place is around 3 meter high and there is no opening anywhere around. It's perfectly enclosed with including ingrued. Vikram is very much. By the time all people woke up suddenly on the right top of the elevated platform, the roof made a circular high portal. The people grasped their breath looking at the scene. This is happening in front of them. The person came from. He just landed on his feet if nothing happened. He looks strong, his skin tone is black, and his facial feature represent nationality should be an African or a country is very close to equator. He is wearing a normal casual dress, did not possess any extravagance. His face is peaceful, which is constant of his appearance. Lost lambs don't curl. I am here to explain the details to you. Suddenly the pale black man spoke in Geese. Who the hell is the black dog that wants to speak to us? Standing up top of the podium, don't try to bluff us with your trick. I know you jump using some thread to attack you. There are some flood light above. White man started to speak with arrogance like the master of the world. Who are you calling black dog? I will kill you right away to shut your arrogant mouth for once and for all. The Chinese man in dress acted as if he's cool and school and spoke. Mister, you better send me back if you don't want to get in trouble with my country. There is a Japanese student like a person look very excited. Hey, Mister, big man. This is called fantasy world of magic or science fiction. There are few people struck by this kind of world. Vikram only looked quietly, did not speak a single word. The big man did not say anything for some time. First, listen what I say. Leave if you want to. My name is Hakim. We all from Earth, which is just a century of a real world. Right now, you're between the century of the real world. The real world is dangerous, plus, there is filled with various monsters and other races. Complete the resource. Our task in the real world is to help the real world of the world or the will of the world to obtain the chaos energy through various means. We will talk other things about now before going to the depths of the matter of the real world. When a person sentry is about to conduct the internal magical intent to have the qualification to evolve or some other species case, they will receive a call from the real world. In the real world, as long as you can survive longer, you will be able to obtain whatever you like: money, power, beauty, superpower, eternal life. The real world is dangerous. The currency of the real world is Chaos Point. Earning Chaos Point has many ways, like hunting the Chaos Monster, completing the mission provided by the countries to the guild, or by some entering the fantasy world. In the current situation, you are not accepted by the real world. You have to pass the entrance test. This is also rating your capability by giving you a grade and preference. The test will be Fantasy World, where you will giving a mission to complete. Fantasy World is made of the literary work of the century, like novel, anime, movies. If you're lucky, you can the power of the other things like literally. Sorry, I was distracted for a while. The reward included Chaos Point, Military Merit, Attribute Point, Artifact. There are more things to perform is like Fantasy will. You will give you Chaos Point. They are essential as money in their world. There will be military merit. You will be getting the world, which is very useful for your social standing. There will be attribute points in the. They are used to improve your various aspects. They are displayed in your status page. Now let me tell you about the other important things. Everything in the real world is like a gamified vision reality where you can think unlike an RPG game with a status page and the other things. But beware, even though it looked like a game, it's a true reality where you can die. Now, to think status in your mind, you can see your own stats. Everyone subconsciously thought of status immediately as a light screen appeared, as a light screen appear in their front of their faces. Status: name Vikram, Vicky, hidden demon, hidden king, age 22, race human, title none, job none, attribution none, military rank none, civilian rank none, vitality 10, stamina 10, strength 10, agility 10, intelligence 10, sense 10, evolution chaos genetic point none, health point 100, stamina point 100, magic point 100, free attribution point 0, chaos point 0, skill point 0, innate skill tier 0, out of 1000 0, will tier 0, thousands out of 0 out of 1000, Aka skill none. Everyone will be able to use their own detail from the status panel. Your status panel is visible to you. Another can see your detail without your permission. You better not share it with other people because you might be backstabbing them in the mission. Most people of the modern world already know things mentioned in the status panel, but for those people who don't understand, I will explain it clearly. First, your name, age, and the that. The title is experience as you can get one by completing some achievement or feat. Military rank. If this is a lower than 3 point, the be aware the attribution is your weakness and yeah. You see, I'm not gonna read this part, it's too long. So if you will go to the link in the description, you will find the story and you can read it yourself. This is the chapter. It's the start of the chapter 11. So yeah. You see, this whole chapter is literally they're explaining about what is the status and other things are. How can you receive points and other things? So yeah, chapter 12. Choice: continue or leave. If they're restricted, they will be left in your account space in the world. There are times when one can enter a world more than once. You can use them as you return. You can sell tradable items. The system can get more chaos point. Can bring them to sell out the gathering center. You can try to placing things with you right now as a storage space to check experience it. Vikram is the one to try the placing bag. He was able to take the bag out of the time easy to flipping his hand. He did not he did it in a few times, found it very easy. He got a question at the time. Mr. Hakim, can you tell me, is there any restriction of bringing anything from outside into the fantasy world? Hakim looked at Vikram with a casual face and said, usually there are no restriction on bringing anything as long as you have enough space in your storage. This will storage to take it the thing in. Your storage spaces increase based on the improvement of your military rank. So civilian ranks some special circumstances which were decided by the system. They looked at everyone asked if they have any other doubt. Killing is valid in the fantasy world and even in the real world. Killing other player will drop a box that you have killed a player. Place chaos point and artifact other things. This is the same of killing some plot character or other chases. You will find the restriction as the system will mention them to you. Find Finally, every time you enter a fantasy world, the system will set difficulty to the world for a based on the factor. You have option to increase the difficulty of the world based on your real therefore entering. Higher the difficulty, the higher the reward you receive. My advice is to you all collect things like money, other, and the valuable fantasy world character. The amount of chaos energy is valuable things connected to mode, which gives you more chaos point. If the plot character or the fantasy world character is interested to follow, you can bring them out, becoming a real person with a specific amount of chaos point given by the real world under the instance contracting you the plot line of the character. But be aware, the death in a fantasy world is not a walk in the park. You can die in the menu. You can die in reality. You have a choice before. You have a choice of staying here and taking the entrance test, or you can choose to leave, which will send you back to the real world. There you will forget what happened here completely and you will never be permitted to enter the real world. As for the people, they want you to say, you can go back to the Shinichi world under specific condition. The time must stay in the Shinichi is bought from the real world using Chaos Point. You can even go to the library fantasy world that you have already visited a specific amount of Chaos Point every time of stay. If you choose to continue, you have to prepare yourself to bear the consequences of choice. With this job concluded, detail is done. With that, my job of introducing the detail is done after saying that he vanished and appeared in front of a white man and previously called Hake a black dog. Then he simply broke the hands and legs of that person without change in his facial expression, without any word. The other people were shocked, so they did not have any time to scream or anything. After that, he lit a cigar, puffed at some smoke, and said, listen carefully, I'm proud of my color, unlike you. I'm the part of the real world. I do not fear death. As also, you stupid white dog cannot even compare to our power in the real world. In the real world, there are division in group based on their home countries, but most of the time the team is formed with many countries mixed together. Well, I have a good white friends. They are good to me, but it doesn't mean I would endure the world of some stupid bitch like you. The things like I have toward a stupid bitch like you is pity because you will fight definitely die because even if you go back, take the test. This is my punishment for a person like you. The thing that you are thing for thinking that you're superior to all. After the first me first after first at first after At first, Mr. Hakin complete his confirmation. People wanted to continue, but they saw the fighting capability of Hawkeye. They have dealt with the person that bad-mouthed him. Their opinions, some of them changed. They did not want to die here. For the reason the last of beginning thought beginning him to want to leave as quickly. For choosing an option the player don't have a select manual, but thought of enough Wickham continued to stay as he was excited to listen to the speech of Hakim. He's sure that he will have the all answer of his question. He will be satisfied. His desire can be fulfilled. By the way, kid, what's your name? Chapter 13. He was sure all his answer question would be satisfied here. So his answer is continue. With that 30 people made choice to leave has vanished right in front of a group which assured the remaining that the real is real, not some sort of show. Hakim returned to the high platform and said all the best. Well, the light door can be called at the portal from aside, and Hakim said you can take the entrances here. Everyone started to move one by one. Is there something that they should pay attention to the entrance test? As a super senior player, I wanted to advise on this. Hakim laughed, changing an expression a little. After showing his strength, cruelty of no other player, he wanted to player none current of the cruelty none of the new player wanted to look into his face. Vicky, on the other hand, came to ask advice without the fear. To Hakim's surprise, he was unable to read the thought of Vikram from his expressions. Vikram looked so ordinary that it's really out of place. After a deep thought, Hakim said, "Since you asked for an advice, I will give you one. The entrance test is place that you can earn most reward, or you perceive you can earn most military merit and chaos point. If you were able to find an artifact, then it's even better. Make sure to get much as gold and valuable possible, which can turn into chaos point. But you have to earn it to get through contract equal exchange. In this way, the exchange rate will be higher. If you steal or threaten with witnessing the money, you will lose much as exchange rate becoming reduced based on your difficulty. Also, the more you change the plot and the more explore the character, the high reward you can get. There are side tasks, special tasks that get triggered through the interaction that can get you lots of reward. I hope you can come back alive, kid. Wickham simply thanked him and moved toward the portal. When he was about to step in, Hakim asked him, "By the wicked, what's your name?" Wickham turned back and said, "Since you are also from the earth, you should have heard about me. They call me Hidden Demon back on earth." This word Wickham stepped into the portal. At the same time, a cigar on the Hakim mouth fell down. It was wide open. He came to the real world 2 years ago. Yes, he heard the person called Hidden Demon back on Earth. He shivered a little when he thought he just he just called a hidden demon as a kid, even though his attribute is higher. His senior player, he doesn't want to underestimate the hidden demon. This hidden demon is the only person that can make the entire world shiver without even detonating a single bomb or attack. It is said to the hidden demon can do anything, and he came to this real world. He thought the hidden demon is some high level player, but he never expected the hidden demon was just a young kid looks so ordinary. Then he thought if he really seen the appearance of hidden demon and it is just this guys, he doesn't know. His brain raced. He wanted to go back to the real world and tell his teammate about the hidden demon, but he immediately stopped. The hidden demon is a person that doesn't like attention. The name hidden demon is not because he hides, but he doesn't want to be seen by other. Many people met the hidden demon, but his appearance change, move away from the attention of the world. So, as it's like to live in peace, as long as one did not provoke him personally or touch his bottom line, the demon would not act or retaliate. There are things in his mind he wanted to. Oh, he walked to another light skin portal. Vikram, on the other hand, woke up from an unconscious state in a small alleyway. It was surrounded by 18th century type of building on a English nation. He felt that he was an isolated from the surroundings, but invisible wall. People are moving without caring. The person unconscious in the middle of the alleyway. He moved a step ahead and felt an invisible wall separating him from the surrounding. His attention was diverted to the appearance. Current fantasy world, Treasure Island. Current location, Crowell. Year 1759 AD. Current world difficulty very easy mode 20%. Entrance test consideration. All damage or attack have been 20% of the original damage. The difficulty achieving task only 20% of the original level. Player can change mode manually following the levels. Easy mode 40% difficulty. Intermediate mode 60. Hard mode 80. Very hard mode 100. Accidental mode 120, disaster mode 140, catastrophe mode 160, hell mode 180, doomsday mode 200. Caution: you can improve the mode difficulty based on your choice. All the risk reward will fall on your own choice and difficulty. Your opinion same as the original opinions that can be changed by spending chaos point with the chaos system. Sorry, with chaos options. Vikram read through the notification by one through that moment before asking about the difficulty of Doomsday setting. The Doomsday level difficulty setting player will receive twice as much as damage as the normal damage. So also the difficulty achieving task will become twice as normal level. The reward you get during the normal time will also double. They will bonus level. So guys, I'm tired. So this is it.